Hello there, and welcome to the Nihil channel. Sad news today, and Daniel here joins me for that. He's here too.
Hello.
So we're hearing reports of the Shining Force mobile game development being suspended, and this comes to us. The one everybody's sharing is this Gamer Braves website, which I've never heard of, but I was trying to wait for at least somebody I knew reporting on it, but this is, at the end of the day, a niche mobile game. So I'm like, the reports are probably going to be small, and I just have to deal with that. It's not like Vespa is like a AAA publisher or anything. So people say it looks to be suspending/canceling it. And then I liked this website more because it had the quotes from the CEO. So the CEO of Vespa says, currently the development of Shining Force has been suspended due to the burden of cost. We were trying to reduce the burden of development costs and bring in money by selling the Shining Force rights. Unfortunately, as the other company is a large overseas company, it was subject to fair combination reporting, so the sale process took longer. So it is impossible to help with the financial statements, and there was no sale. So it sounds like what he's saying is that they realized they bit off more than they could chew, and were trying to bring in another studio on that. And because of all the red tape and all the bureaucracy things, it just was going to be really hard to make the sale. Which is funny to me, somewhat, because it's like, you know, I get that he says it's a large overseas company, so there's like lots of things with that, but it's funny to me that it's like, oh yeah, Shining Force is like so hard to sell because it's so large. You know what I mean?
I know that it really strikes me as funny because it feels like, given the community and what a lot of like programmers and devs have done to recreate and reimagine and re-spirit these games, that they couldn't find like a dev team that would just do this straight for free.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually turn you down real quick, so pause for just a second. Back to the news, sorry. So CEO Kim Jun-soo confirms that the studio is moving forward with their two other titles, King's Raid and Time Defenders. So I'm confused by this a little bit. I guess I should recap, or not recap, but I should touch on the video I made before saying that I didn't think the game was in that much trouble. I did say that. And the reason I said that is because, again, Vespa knows how much money that they were not making off of King's Raid. And I don't think that that's that shocking. It's a gacha game that is not about a licensed property. It's not based around a licensed property. So phone games have a lifespan, and this is why I have never really liked phone games, and I think it's also a big reason a lot of Shining Force fans were not that excited about this game in the first place. It's that phone games have a set lifespan, and because they are always online, and they are on a platform that is always being updated, they require constant attention to continue functioning. And so there's no just set it and forget it and leave it. Every phone game, even the really successful ones, will eventually be taken offline. And I already was myself as well being like, you know, that's kind of sad that we're going to have a Shining Force game that is going to be gone at some point. And we already have, I guess. There's been some Japanese-only ones that are already gone. And maybe somebody has them backed up. I've heard rumors of that. But over here in the States, we're not quite sure, and we don't have access to that, so at least at this time. So I'm hoping somebody's backed that up somewhere. But that's a really difficult task. So, essentially, I was wrong somewhat. It really just seems like they bit off more than they could chew, and thought that this was going to go smoother than it did. And I'm also a little bit appreciative that this was, to Vespa, it seems like a big endeavor. It makes me feel like they at least were trying really hard to make a quality game. And they weren't just going to, you know, throw up whatever half-baked attempt they were doing for money. They actually wanted it to be something. So I appreciate that. This doesn't... I think this doesn't mean that the game is dead forever. The fact that they're saying, it's not working, we're trying to make a sale, blah, blah, blah. I think they and whoever this other company is that we don't know who is looking at this, it's not mentioned who that is, but somebody knows there's money to be made here. Because somebody was interested, at least, in buying it. And so, that might happen, it might not. But we might get it, we might not. Danielle and I were talking about this between us, and I think our consensus was kind of easy come, easy go. It sucks that we're gonna get a new game, and now maybe we're not. But it seemed like a crazy idea anyway. So that's kind of my feelings. I'm disappointed, but I'm not too disappointed. We still have all the old stuff, and this tells me that people know there's money to be made, and that we're gonna get another look at Shining Force in the future. I still feel pretty comfortable saying that. Daniel, do you want to chip in something?
Yeah, I would echo those same thoughts. I think since a large amount of the fan base was sort of already against it, that maybe it's for the best that in this specific medium it doesn't appear to be working out, so there's not sort of a... what would the right word be? Some, like, people willing to support it. So there were a lot of, like, the Shining Force, like, proper fans that had no interest in supporting it. So maybe it not working out is, like, kind of like a mixed blessing, whereas since the phone route didn't work, maybe they push it elsewhere.
Could be. I think that depends on how much they actually had done. I know we were talking about before I started the recording that Daniel was saying, like, the trailer looked pretty far along, and I agree, but there's also a chance that could be everything that they had at that moment. It could be that they didn't have anything else.
We need to mourn the loss of the fact that we'll never know who those two babies are.
That's the thing I'm mourning the least. Because I did not care for OCs. That was the thing I was looking forward to the least.
Well, we don't know if they were OCs. They could have been some of our tried and true favorites as babies.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were probably OCs.
The English release of the game would have been called Shining Force Babies. Shining Force Junior. That would have felt like a callback to Echo Junior, though, so I would have been okay with it. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. But, so I'm curious, what are you guys' thoughts in the comments? I know some of you will be celebrating and you won't be subtle about it, and that's okay. I'm not upset with you. I know some of you will be mourning, and I support you as well. It just is what it is. I'm still happy that, here's my final thought. I was not expecting a new Shining Force game. I was happy with the modders doing their support. I've been happy with the community that we have. And Fire Emblem Heroes has been... there's been benefits and there's been downsides to what's happened to the Fire Emblem community. And I'm okay with the Shining Force community staying as it is for now, I think. And I'm still open, though, to the idea of it getting larger and us getting new games. But basically, I'm happy with what we have, and it inspired me to... the trailer inspired me to start this channel, so I hope that's at least one good thing that can come out of it. Or not start the channel, but rebrand it and do the Shining Force content I always meant for it to be. So I hope that can be a bright side, a silver lining, at least a tiny bit, that I'm here doing this because of that. That's at least a bright side for me. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. Daniel, do you have anything else that you want to say?
I was just thinking maybe we could turn this into an opportunity for like if anyone's like written like Shining Force like fan fiction, maybe like drop that in the comments and we can all check that out. Maybe losing that can be an opportunity to elevate that, like the people that are like writing like fan versions of the stories and stuff.
I would love that. And if you put in the comments, if you want me to read it on the channel, I would not be opposed. Because why not? It's Shining Force content, and I play the mods. You know, if you've written a good story about it, I'd love to read it and share it with people and help you get that out there. So definitely drop it in the comments if you want, and say whether you want me to read it on here or not, because I won't do that without you saying so. But I will give it a look no matter what. And yeah, I appreciate all of the people that are making fan content around the series, and I hope that you keep it up, because you're it now. But you were it before, you know. You guys were here before this announcement, and you'll be here after.
I was about to say, you were so good. You didn't get canceled. The mobile game did, so.
Yep. But I'm not costing anybody billions of dollars either, so there's that. I probably wasn't billions, but I don't know. Maybe here's what we should do. Maybe we should have a GoFundMe for me to buy the rights. How's that? I would call up some of the mod makers, and we'd get a game churned out tomorrow. I mean, it is a tempting thought, but I think that might be a talk for another video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Time don't feel so linear, with heartbreak so familiar. We all know what's insane, so why not break the chain? Break the chain, break the chain, break the chain.